What's up, everybody? Welcome to Family Spirit International on another Monday. Thank you guys for coming in. Gwen, how are you, sweetheart?
I'm a little bit under the weather, but I'm placeholding till my girl Lee gets here because I'm not going to leave you by yourself. I do have to say it was wonderful to see everybody in person this week. I got to see my Blaine in person, and I got hugs. And
it was amazing. The energy that was there, the drumming, the flute playing, the stories they were telling, and how friendly everybody was.
The smile.
It was amazing.
It was. And hopefully it's going to help Blaine to heal and maybe me to heal faster because everybody knows I got surgery coming up Wednesday. And
did you go through the healing fire?
I did twice.
I should have went through it twice, but once I thought was enough. I should have did it before we left again, but we had so much other stuff to do. Hi, Jeremy.
Yeah, I did twice. I danced my big boo-boo off. I had a wonderful time, and it was great to see you. And, of course, me, you, Lee, and Matt got to hang out and afterwards at the cabin, and that was cool. We had a great time. It was just wonderful.
Yeah, that cabin we had was really nice.
It was.
It was perfect in there. They had a little fireplace in there, and y'all were just digging. Oh, it's got a fireplace.
I don't have one, so I loved it.
I don't either.
And it was chilly, and so we got to cut it on, and that was wonderful.
What, that was weird because May's not supposed to be cold. It was like 35 in the morning on Saturday in the powwow. I was like, jeez.
Now it warmed up a little bit, but I ended up having my jacket on like almost all day, which kind of ruined my little bit of a regalia. Mine's not perfected yet, but
mine was so thick it was comfortable in it.
Nice.
And I had my moccasins on that came up, so my feet were nice and warm.
Yep.
My regalia pants are real thick suede leather, so it was comfortable and it was fun. But we had a blast.
We did.
I can't wait to do it next year, and we had some good investigations.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Matt were trying out some new equipment we're coming out with. I'm not going to tell you what it is till we get it done.
Exactly.
But all I can tell you, it was amazing. The stuff we got with it. It was really amazing.
It absolutely was. And we have a wonderful guest tonight. And if you don't know her, you've been under a rock or somewhere else because I think everybody knows her. I was so excited, and I'm like, dang it, I don't feel like it. That's why I don't have my camera on because I am not camera ready. But I didn't want to leave Blaine by herself. And Lee is coming. But she does have a day job also. So without further ado, Blaine, introduce our wonderful guest.
Well, we got the Wiccan Vixen, Miss Nancy. I'm going to probably butcher her last name, Planeta.
Planeta.
Planeta. There we go.
Planeta. It's super phonetic. It's planet with an A.
It's that stupid Southern accent. We can't pronounce nothing right.
I see Miss Lee is home.
Yeah.
Hey, Lee, how you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm good. It's been a minute, girl.
I know. I've missed talking to you.
Oh, I know. Life is life, though. But as soon as you sent that invite, I was like, oh, yeah, I got to do Lee. I got to jump on with Lee. I love Lee.
Well, guys,
me too, girl. It's so good to see you.
Back, but I will be running the show, and I told Nancy we'll just have to talk later. And I'll be back here if you need me. Just yell. Here we go.
Thank you, babe.
Miss Nancy.
There she goes.
How long have you been doing paranormal?
Oh, God. Oh, boy. I started in the 1990s. So it's been 30 years. Long time. Plus, always I've always dabbled. I wasn't active in the paranormal, but I've always been very curious, done a lot of research. I'm a type of person who does not like unanswered questions in pretty much any realm. So it was more of a curiosity initially. It was never a mystical or spiritual thing for me. It's always been looking for answers. Lee knows kind of my backstory a little bit, where when I was 12, I am a prophetic dreamer. I will tell you that, and that has been proven time and time again. But it started when I was very young, and I had a dream at about 12 years old, saw my brother in a horrible accident, told him about it, and it still manifested. And I felt horrible that this happened. My mom took me to see a priest, and the priest told my mother it was Satan. It was the devil trying to work through me. But it made me, because I knew even at 12, I knew even at 12, even at a really young age, I knew that was not correct. That was not a bad person. I didn't read anything that would make me evil. I have an insatiable curiosity for knowledge. But
yeah, you do.
It just, no, I do. I can't help it. In fact, it's so funny because I have an autistic grandson. Well, not really. He's higher spectrum. He's Asperger's. And he's the kid is like a little Rain Man. I mean, he's brilliant. But he's emotional. He doesn't understand emotional cues. But the kid, he's 14 now. Absolutely brilliant. And until
I can't
working with that child.
Oh my God.
Oh, I know, Lee. I have 9 grandkids, Lee. Just smack me. I'm like, oh God, stop. I can't afford Christmas.
That's amazing. Oh my God.
But it's funny because
I can imagine 9.
Yep, 9. Very well. You have to there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 through my bloodline, through my children. I have 2 children, and then Raphael, my husband, we have 3 more through his side of things. So again, my step grandkids, but they're still, to me, it's one family, one blood. There's no step, there's no separation. These are my grandchildren. Of course. So it's really, like I said, you don't realize how expensive things have got until you have 9 grandkids and Christmas comes along. Or almost every single kid, there's only one child of my grandchildren that has a birthday outside of August.
Wow.
So 8 of them are in August and 1 is in April. Yep. So, but like I said, Noah, my oldest grandson, well, there's my babies.
Oh, I
have 9.
You probably see Lee's dog Luna, because she thinks every show we do is the Luna show. So
my dog, one of my dogs, is right next to me.
Right here.
I was going to say, the one that's next to me is actually, I have a service dog from my, for the brain injury and my blood pressure. She heals on my lap if my blood pressure starts increasing.
Yeah.
But this one is not the service dog. This is my Dahlia. She's my old girl. But I'm an animal, Lee will tell you, I'm an animal fanatic.
Yeah.
A lot of people call me Dr. Doolittle because injured animals will come find. Like all of my cats are recovery cats. Every single one of them is a rescue. My dogs are all rescues.
Those are the best breed. Those are the best breed.
Me too.
Rescue.
Well, I was going to say, even the ferals outside, they come to me without any fear. So I'll get them spay and neutered and then keep them fed. And like I put out during this winter, we had a cold winter down here in Florida. I was putting out the insulated houses for them. They use them. I try to, and I think it's my frequency. I think it's my energy.
It is.
They just know, they're safe.
Well,
so I try to use that.
The same thing with me. I call our house the zoo because every animal that gets lost ends up in my front yard. And if they're injured, like I even had turtles find me. Did you see my posting, Lee, with the stupid turtles?
Yes.
Freaking these, like, they're rare. Apparently, so Florida has native turtles or tortoises, gopher tortoises. They are endangered, but they're native to our area. and it's a huge no-no to touch them, because once you touch them and redirect them, they can't find their way back to their nest. But these, I saw them, the first one coming down my driveway, I'm like, looking at it going, that is the cleanest gopher tortoise I have ever seen in my life. And then it got closer, I'm like, oh, what a beautiful, I mean, it was gorgeous. And then it started following me around my yard. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not a gopher tortoise. And so I picked it up and I put it on my side yard. I'm looking up, what do tortoises eat? Felt like an idiot. Now I'm going to the market to get organic vegetables, because I'm not going to feed the stupid thing chemical vegetables. And I'm feeding the stupid tortoise. And finally I sent a friend of mine who is he's an actual expert in reptiles. And I sent him a photo and he goes, oh, no, that's an African. He goes, those are really endangered. He goes, those things get upwards of 150 pounds. I'm like, what? What? How the hell did it find me? Where did it come from? So he's like, well, what are you going to do? I said, well, I'm going to put up.
That's always
obviously. Well, and I said, it couldn't have come far. It's in really good shape. So I'm going to just start putting up posters and say, did you lose your tortoise? But next morning I get up to go check on the tortoise. There's 2 of them. I'm like, what did it split? Now I've got 2. I ended up, nobody ever claimed them. I ended up giving them to my friend, and he actually has like a retreat. And he goes, well, you could keep them. I said, dude, I already have like 16 chickens, a crap ton of turkeys that keep reproducing. I'm like, everybody's feral cats that get injured drag themselves onto my land, and then I got a rehab. I said, well, my whole warehouse is like an animal rehab. I'm like, possums, baby possums, they all find me. So here's Rafi, who likes animals, but he's not a big animal lover, and he's just, every time he's like, no, and she's gone. I'm like, yep, get out of my way. But I'm so glad that you came on. Hey, the first time I blew out a light bulb, just I was mad and it blew. Yep.
I was talking to Mark Rachash, and he told me her all the time. But each other a long time, haven't we? God.
Yeah. I mean, I still
a long time.
I have actually zenned myself down a lot.
She was one of the first people I had on Family Spirit, by the way.
Yes, I was. Oh, we've been friends a long time. And God, Chuck Weston. The gruesome threesome on Family Spirit. Oh God, we had so much fun. But I mean, it's it's funny
really
because
did. That was when Dr. Weston he did the reality check. So we do Family Spirit and then reality check.
Yep. How is he doing?
It's a lot.
How is Chuck doing?
I was gonna say. He's doing great. He's just gotten back from another cruise. He and his wife took a cruise.
Oh, that's nice.
And she's doing medical coding, so she's not. Yeah, she's not not working as a nurse anymore. She's doing medical coding at home, so she's doing well. She just had her new pacemaker put in, and they're partying like a rock star.
You know what? Like I said,
Nancy, if you see us wave during the show, that's people coming in to say hi to us. Instead of interrupting, we'll just wave at them.
Oh, you can interrupt me. I don't care. I am not like that. Lee will tell you that. I do not care. I am a totally normal person. Like it's to me, I just enjoy being with people, learning from them, and spreading knowledge. That's what it's all about. I've always felt that way. So that's why
something, Nancy. Between the 3 of us, we've got over 100 years of paranormal.
Yep. It's so funny because I call us the OGs now. Like we're part of the OGs. We're the originals.
Yep.
Now.
That's right.
Yep.
I mean, we started out with Polaroid cameras and cassette recorders.
Yep. And actually, I still think that is still some of the best equipment. I'll be very honest with you. I don't know if this, and I am. You guys know that I have a degree in cybersecurity. I have federal certifications in cybersecurity and intelligence. So I have
cybersecurity stuff.
Oh yeah, that's my gig. But it's funny because all that all the technology, everything that you're learning, and I've been in it since the 80s, so it's like I've grown up with this tech. And I look at what we do in the paranormal, I'm like, the simple stupid is really the way to go.
Always.
You're not disturbing the frequencies, okay? Because that is a big part of everything, and I keep saying that. You bring on all this technology, all these equipments, and those are hooked to certain things, and it's going to cause a frequency wave, which is going to skew your results because now you're putting too many frequencies in the area. And not only that,
That's right.
you can't depend on it a lot of times. You can get artifacts. Cameras are the worst, the newer cameras, and I keep saying that. There's so many digital artifacts involved. It's crazy. The older recorders, like, oh God, you remember we used to be able to record in high and low resolution?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was the bomb, because a lot of times you'd catch things in low resolution that would not be in high resolution. And then you'd go and put it through, Adobe Audition and look at it and be like, oh, look at that. That shouldn't be there. Oh, that's so cool. But it's more, again, I'm, as much as I am, obviously I'm a believer. I have things about myself I can't explain. That's what got me into this. But I'm still really logical. Like, I don't want foo-foo answers. Don't tell me, oh, it's the hand of God or it's the hand of, no. Because there's still going to be a tracking record. There's still going to be something there that shows us exactly what's going on. And I think quantum physics is doing quite a bit right now to actually get us more to that answer. But it scares me because, like, CERN, as modern as technological as I am, CERN I do not like. And you've heard me say it a million times, what idiot thinks it's a great idea to try to duplicate a black hole here on our planet? No, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to tell you that's probably not a good idea. Just saying. Or a black matter. Let's try to imitate black matter. Why? Why are we doing this? Because we can? That's a really stupid answer. I mean, so it's really even the 5G, answer. 6G. That's what I'm saying. Even 5G, 6G, that's really scaring me because, again, as a hacker, I'm a certified ethical hacker federally. As a hacker, I can tell you, I can hack the crap out of 5G, no problem. I can get into a Cat 5 cable, no problem. But, 6G, you know what they're doing with 6G, right? What that is. And you can look it up if you don't believe me. 6G it's harnessing your EM field as a power generator. And it's like, it's in the patent. I'm like, so let me get this right. Not only do we have to pay for the stupid phone and pay for the super service, but now we're powering the stupid service and we're having to pay for it. Did I miss a boat somewhere?
Yeah.
Really? You're going to harness our EMF field? Are you out of your minds? Do we have any say in this? Are you informing the public that this is your intention?
It's all money, Nancy.
It's not just money, it's control.
That too.
It's control. And like I said, if they use nanotechnology in the vaccines like they're bragging about, that's really scary.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's other things in the vaccines that would allow a segue of information transportation through technology into your body. So it's like, hydrogel. That's why I said, why is there hydrogel in a vaccine? Why would you put hydrogel? Hydrogel is something that's something you use in technology. It's a conduit. What? Why is it in the vaccine? Along with nanotechnology, along with graphene. What? Some scary stuff. Some really scary stuff. And it does work into the paranormal, like I said.
Have you looked into... It does work. Speaking of that, I was wondering if you had looked into dimensions, the scientific explanation, and the... I thought you had, and I wanted to see what you had found out. I've been looking into it as well. I mean...
From what I understand,
there's a couple things.
We did the whole thing with the Mandela effect. I believe we did that on your show. I've done it on mine multiple times. I mean, people are very curious about the Mandela effect. And it actually does make sense.
Welcome to go into it.
Well, I mean, I always take the young kid, back in 2012, I believe it was, I forget his name, but he was very young, like 12 years old. And he wrote but he's a genius. And he had written a very interesting paper on a napkin, no less, about the Mandela effect and the fact that you could track the origins of some of these claims going back to the exact time that CERN was flipped on. And it's very interesting because the realities are different. I mean, I swear to God, I was like, yeah, there are definitely things I can tell you I remember from my childhood and it getting repeated over and over and over again. And you're trying to tell me I'm wrong. And I have like photos of some of this stuff telling me, no, I'm right. So either, and here's the other side of it too. It could be the government entities messing with us. And I've always said that, do you ever stop to think that this is all just, again, a giant ploy to keep everybody distracted? Because they like to do that. They like to play that game.
That sleight of hand.
But
look over here, not this.
Well, I keep saying that. People are just, they fall for it. This is our society. I got nothing for them. Because honest to God, I have never seen a generation that was so easily duped.
You got
that
eat Tide Pods.
Wait. Do you think? Yes. Do I think CERN is affecting time slip? Yes and no, because time slips were in existence before CERN. I can tell you, greatest example I can give you that you might connect to would be the Mothman. The Mothman prophecies that occurred. That was John Keel going back to Point Pleasant, West Virginia. He experienced what we call time slip. He traveled from D.C. to Point Pleasant, West Virginia, in his own words, in something like a half an hour, when it's like a 6-hour drive.
Yes.
That is a time slip, it's a time glitch, and it's well before the age of CERN. CERN didn't come into existence until late 90s going into the 2000s, whereas the Mothman, the Silver Bridge incident took place back in the early 70s, was it, or late 60s? But there's also something else that's accredited to that people of Native American background might be interested in, and you can look it up. So the drawings, if you look up the drawings that have been submitted by the people who actually witnessed the Mothman and were supposedly, quote unquote, visited by the Mothman, look at the pictures that they draw. And while I do laugh and say, yes, it does kind of look like Charlie from the cartoons, Bugs Bunny, the big monster that looked like a heart. But on the other side of that, there was an artifact dug up in 1978, I believe in New Mexico, and it's identified as a Thunderbird. And if you look at that artifact and you put it next to those drawings from Point Pleasant from the late 1960s, they're identical. And the artifact that was unearthed came from the mid-18th century. So I've always held that up and said, did anybody stop to think and maybe compare the lore of the Thunderbird to what the Mothman is said to be? Because you have the Algonquin, you have the Algonquin Indians up there. That is all that area where the Mothman is. That's all Algonquin territory.
Yes, it is.
And it's sacred. So it's like, well, the Algonquin, they recognize the Thunderbird. So did you ever stop and think that this could be what they were seeing as the Thunderbird down in New Mexico, down in Texas, that they rendered what they saw? That the Mothman may not, it's the Mothman to this generation. It could have been the Thunderbird to generations before to the Native Americans. And the same type of creature has been spotted in Europe, in Asia, throughout the centuries.
Yeah.
So now that goes back to dimensions, because I believe whatever that creature is, it's interdimensional.
I agree with you.
So, and I do believe it is a messenger. I think the Mothman dubbing is probably pretty accurate, because the moth is a messenger symbol. So I was like, that whole Mothman thing, I don't think it's evil. I know they, in the movie, they tried to play it off as evil. And in John Keel's book, he kind of played it off as malevolent. But I'm like, I don't see malevolence. I see neutrality, which, again, kind of pushes me into the Native American aspects of things. Because I'm like, the Native American beliefs of the elementals is probably one of the purest beliefs I've ever seen.
Yes.
And it's very akin, I've said this to Lee many times, It's very akin to how I believe. I'm not a Wiccan by the standard of definition that you all are given. I am a person who believes in energies. I believe in neutrality.
Like us.
I do believe in a creator. But again, I'm very, I do not believe in organized anything, because anything that's touched by man is absolutely tainted.
Corrupted.
It doesn't matter. Exactly. And while I always say, I don't say one way or the other. If Jesus lived, it's probably he did, because there's so much information there. But on the other side of that, he could have been an advanced person. I said, I think he was a sensitive. I said, but I'm not going to say he was the son of the creator. Why? Because I think we're all sons and daughters of the creator. All of us. I said, and I always go back to the biblical inference that we were created in his image. I said, now, if that is true, and we hold that to be true, then we're an epic failure, because we've allowed religion and religious leaders to push us down and to try to stop us from embracing what we actually are. We're very sensitive, advanced creatures.
Yes,
we can link to anything. I've always said, I've laughed because, Lee, a lot of the stuff that I've talked about on my shows, natural telepathy, which I have, and I've said it for years. Yes, I'm telepathic. Yes, I hate it. Yes, it's intrusive. Yes, I wish I could cut it out, but I know I am. Why? Because I can hear my husband's thoughts loud and clear. And a lot of times, Lee, remember this? I would be like, literally, I could be across the house from him, and he'd be thinking something like, oh my God, stop it. Stop it. You're too loud. Knock it off. Oh, you pervert. That's it. I'm coming to get your phone. You're not allowed on the web anymore.
Nancy, I do the same thing with my wife. My wife's in there right now watching TV. I can hear her. She's thinking about, this is what she's thinking about. She just bought a bunch of clothes yesterday. She's thinking about, are they going to fit?
Are they going to fit? Yeah. Isn't that, and it's not.
I'm hearing in my head from her right now.
You can hear it. I say that too. You can hear it. Like you can hear, and it's not like you're hearing the words. It's like you're hearing the context of what they're thinking. And sometimes the words. It really depends.
Voice in my head going right now. They're going to fit.
But you're not crazy. You're not crazy, because now science is starting to catch up, and they're starting to say, "Oh, gee, well, look at that. Maybe they are telepathic." But I'm like, I've been saying that for decades. Our DNA is built to be telepathic.
Yeah, well, you know what's funny? Me and Lee know when each other something's wrong with the other one, because immediately.
Yep.
Blaney, you okay?
Yep.
I call her. She says, thank you for calling. I just said your name and you called. It happens with us quite a lot.
I know with Lee, I can tell when something's wrong with her.
Lee,
it's
muted.
so funny. All I have to do is.
You're muted.
Yep, tell her. You're muted, Lee. Oh, that face. She probably thought we were ignoring her.
There you are. I was trying to tell you, you can't speak. I can't hear you because you're muted.
It's funny because for years, like even now, like if I go to Lee's Messenger on Facebook, if I like tap her and open her up, I know something's wrong with her. And it's horrible because she doesn't have to say anything. There's no typing going back and forth. I'm just like, and then every once in a while I'll reach out and be like, Lee, you okay? Mm-hmm. Because it's like you can feel it in her energy. And with you, Lee, I can feel it in your pictures. When you post your pictures, I can feel it in your pictures. And Mark can tell you, I can't tell you how many times I've reached out to him and said, hey, you talk to Lee. What's going on with Lee? And he'd be like, I don't know. I was like, well, you need to get off the I don't know and reach out and ask her if she's okay, because I was like, I don't want to be intrusive, but I can feel it. I know something's wrong with her. And he's just like, how do you do that? I said, Lee she has an aura, a very specific aura. And it's a very gentle aura, and it's a healing one. I said, and when she's got something going on, it's like bruised. And I said, and I'm not talking like, it's not like marital problems and stuff like that. It's like something else is going on. Like she's fighting this internal war. I said, it's like her aura bruises a little bit. And I hate seeing that because you're really special, Lee, and you know that. I've told you that many times.
Thank you, Nate.
A very special person. And you make a big impact. So it's like you getting bruised bothers me.
She does.
Me getting bruised, that's one thing because I'm an old dog. It's like,
I know.
and I walk straight into the punches. You know that. I'm like, okay, let's do this.
We'll get something else
But-
real quick, and I'll be
Yeah.
right back.
Go ahead, Blaine.
Go. But
When he gets
girl, you know
when he
that.
runs out of liquid, he like that. His mouth is real dry. He just got through with some medical situations.
literally-
Yeah.
I'm doubled up on Powerade. Yep. Oh, you got body armor. I don't like the body armor. It gives me a headache. So, like, Powerade it is. I just
water.
use it.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I
what's
don't
up
do
with the
Gatorade,
vitamin
though.
water, but I love it. So
It's
I've
good
got
for
a
you.
question. I know
Yep.
that you have looked at the correlation between cryptids and ghosts. And
Yes.
I'm writing something right now about that, and I'm going to teach a class on it, and it's getting full. I'm very excited about, here's the poster. So it's called
nice.
Cryptid Encounters. Thank you. And Blaine, Matt, Gwen, and myself, we're going to be teaching that come May 6th. So
That's awesome.
thank you. It's going to be online, and it's only for 2 weeks. And I'm selling the tickets on Eventbrite. And
Girl, you got to get me you need to get me either a video script to advertise and get it on the vault.
Yeah.
You need to get information, girl. My Facebook, hello. Just get this over to me because I will push the hell out of it for you.
Oh, thank you
You
so
know
much.
that. I got to have you on the air, too. Christ.
That's
You
awesome.
should have told me sooner.
Oh,
But again, I mean, I will. Ooh, you're tooting at me.
I'm in my car. I just blew my horn. Okay, so here's the question I wanted to ask you, and I will send you all of this because this is really great. Okay, so how do you interpret the connection between cryptids and spirits? Because I'm working on a theory about that, and I wanted to see what you think. And, if we come up with
Frequencies.
something really cool, I'm going to put that in the book and put your name, okay?
Well, here's the thing. Some of the cryptids, and I've said this many times, I mean, you know my beliefs. I am a believer that we are most likely spliced from either a civilization that preceded us or something that came here. But there's too much of a spatial problem in our chronology as far as evolution goes. We evolved way too quickly in way too short of a period of time for there not to have been some kind of an interference. And now, again, DNA is starting to back up what I'm saying, where they're doing these tests. They're, oh, wait, we can't figure this out. Well, yeah, probably because there was interference. That being said,
I have unknown DNA in I took a DNA test to try to figure out my ethnicity, and it has a thing where it's weird.
Well, again, I think Native Americans go a lot further back than they tell us. And I've always said that. And they say, well, the Clovis people. I'm like, no, it's not quite the same as the Clovis people. Do they descend from the Clovis? That's very possible. But again, like here in Florida, I have an archaeological dig. I'm in the wetlands area of Florida, the west coast towards Crystal River, where the manatees are. Weeki Wachee, that's where I'm at. Beautiful area. But it's also there's a lot of sacred Indian sites here. There are a lot of tribes in this area because it's protected. It's protected from the bay in many ways. It's got outer barriers that protect it from any impacts. Plus, it's lush with vegetation. Perfect area to settle. Well, the archaeological site, this maybe 30 minutes above me. I've been out there 3 times now because I don't know why it calls to me, but it does. It's a burial mound as well as an overlook where the chief's house once stood. They have identified those 2 things, as well as a smaller village that was under where the chief's house was. Some of the artifacts they're digging up, okay, this is where it gets kind of crazy. Straight up Mayan. Straight up. I'm like, I'm in the museum looking at them going, yep, that's not Tocobagan. I am familiar with the Tocobaga tribe. They are local to where I'm from, where I grew up. I know what their art looks like, and it doesn't look like that. That is Mayan. Started talking to the guy who was curating it. Well, and he said, well, we think they were up here. I was like, you think? You think they were? That's okay. I'm pretty sure that didn't come from international trade.
I think they were here before they migrated south.
Well, it makes sense. If you're going to follow the ice bridge, yes, everything would have come from the north and moved to the south. That's what chronologically makes sense and geologically makes sense. But to sit there and say, well, no, we don't think the Mayan were here. I'm looking at them going, so what do you think? They airmailed it? It came over on a canoe from Central, America. I mean, y'all always play down the native populations like they didn't have capabilities. Are you out of your minds? We can prove that the Polynesians were over on this side and that they taught the natives how to build boats. We can prove that the Egyptians were here at one point. That precedes Columbian. So again, why do you play off? You know how I get too. I get defensive because I'm like, why do you play the natives off as irrelevant? Because they were way ahead. Truly way ahead.
They talked about it as the powwow because we had civilizations before we were colonized.
Correct.
Civilizations.
Yep.
Very smart. They built amazing things that they think that we couldn't have built, but we did.
Yep. Well, even Machu Picchu, where there was brain surgeries being performed in Machu Picchu. We have evidence of that. I mean, it's absolutely drill holes in people's heads to relieve pressure, which is cranial surgery. Mm-hmm. I mean, that doesn't just happen. That's something it's a technique that, you have. It's crazy to me that they under the medicinal. It's like what they do to the Muslims. Mm-hmm. And I say that without any political anything involved. The medicinal education of the Muslims is insane. And it goes back thousands of years. I mean, thousands of years. And their knowledge is crazy. And and that's why they were made part and parcel to the courts of Europe. It was their doctors that the courts of Europe wanted. I'm like, it wasn't anything to do with conquering, anything to do with that. Everybody worked in synchronicity until Western Europeans really started to rise up. And the church, the Catholic Church, started to control everything. That's when the problems started. And I'm not anti-Catholic at all. I actually think Catholicism, if practiced correctly, is quite beautiful. But they've caused a lot of problems. And even now, religions are causing massive problems in this world. This is why I say, organized religion, I want nothing to do with it. Because it's nothing but pain, discrimination, murder, hatred. That's what it brings. And they're supposed to be peaceful. Won't do it. But like I said, you guys have the natives have a lot of link-ins to a lot of things. And to answer your thing with the cryptids, again, I think part of that is indeed dimensional. Like Mothman, I think that's an interdimensional jumper. But some of them have been here for thousands of years. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I also think some of it is
a dimensional thing.
Do what?
We're on the dimensional thing, so I've got another question, and I think you're about to answer it, so I'm going to step in. Okay, Blaine, we talked about this weekend because we talked about some researchers, several of the people we've had on the show, and I know we're talking about Family Spirit and tomorrow's Cryptid Nation, so we're doing a little crossover back and forth because this is you, and you're very educated and very diverse. So I just wanted to, because we're going to talk about both in just a second, but some researchers are saying that cryptids may move in and out of dimensions. And, we believe the same about spirits. Okay, what is your take on that? Have you ever had any evidence that supports or challenges that?
Well, I don't think any of us have any evidence. That's the problem, because we're not sure what the process exactly is that's occurring. But yeah, there is a connection. I can tell you that. If the cryptids are moving between dimensions, that would mean that there's a form of ascendance. How do I describe this to you? I always kind of look at like Star Trek transporters.
Yes.
Yes. Where literally Okay, you have to break it all down and then repiece it back together. Well, to me, it's not very, your soul is not very different. I think that, I always told people, I think the electromagnetic field that is produced by the electricity that flows through our bodies, which powers your heart, your lungs, all these things, it's actually an electrical current, folks, that you've got. I think that is your soul in many ways. I think it's intelligent energy.
Thank you.
And when you die, it ascends. It literally, it can't, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only conduct or change. That is the law.
Yep.
And again, how is that different from dimension jumping? And I can always tell people that it's really not that different from dimension jumping.
Thank you.
You probably are dimension jumping. That's why some people will say, well, I went through this portal and I saw this beautiful place, blah, 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 blah. Well, you probably popped to a different dimension. Your energy popped and then it popped back again. I think and I do this, I say this because I think I've told you, Lee, I always thought that my prophetic dreams are actually me remote viewing. Again, nothing foo-foo about me. I'm like, I think I'm remote viewing while I'm sleeping because apparently I'm an epic dumbass and I can't do it while I'm awake. Isn't that great? But I think I'm remote viewing.
Excuse me. There we go.
I think my frequency for some reason resonates and it allows me to surf. You know what I call it, Lee? I call it surfing the grid. That I'm out and I always say that I'm surfing the grid. I don't know why, don't know how, a lot of times cannot control what I'm shown. Get really pissed off because I'm never shown beautiful things. Why can't you show me flowers and a gorgeous future? Oh no, I get school shootings and stuff blowing up and volcanic eruptions. It's awesome. Not really. So it's like I want to fill out the order form, let me just try to control this remote viewing so I can go somewhere that's kind of decent. But no, doesn't work that way.
I get it. I'm starting to get that too, Nancy. I've seen children get hit by cars. I saw 9/11. I was pregnant with my son, and I saw it looked like a birthday cake. And then the closer I got to it, it had two candles, which were the Twin Towers. And the closer I got to the cake, I saw that those were little buildings. It wasn't decoration. And there's those two candles. And I thought, what is going on? I kept getting closer, and I saw fleas jumping off the candles, and that was people jumping out of the building.
Jumping out of the buildings.
And yeah, and then I saw people running, and they were covered in ash and soot. And I said, "What's going on?" And I couldn't get him to stop. I'm like, I finally stopped one, and they knocked him down, and he kept running. And it was 2 days later it happened.
Yeah.
Well, and
that woke me up to tell me.
And you're mainly metaphorical then, so you're metaphorical prophetic, whereas I can be both. I'm both metaphorical and what we call direct connect, which is where I am literally at the event and experiencing everything the people who are actually at the event are experiencing.
No offense.
I told you that.
I don't have that.
I mean, I can still, the school shooting that I was shown, I can still smell the gunpowder. I can still hear if I think about it, I can get that horrible feel, like the screams, because I'm already noise sensitive. But I mean, I think I've told you too, when I'm seeing an event through a direct connect, it's like it's on crack. Like everything is much more intense. The colors, all of it, everything's intense. When you speak to psychiatrists or psychologists, say, well, people don't dream in color. Oh no. I really beg to differ, because I dream in not just color. Yep. It's like Technicolor.
Nancy, when I dream, I get full sensations. Actually, I get extra sensations. Mm-hmm. I get full colors. I can see faces. I can tell.
Yep.
Get names. Everything. I'm like, whoever said you dream in black and white's lying. I've never dreamed in black and white ever.
Yep. I've had multiple psychiatrists say it, and as you all can tell, when I say psychiatrist, it's because Lee will tell you this too. I have questioned my abilities up one side, down the other. Because again, I'm a really logical person, so it's like the empath part of me. Oh, that's another one that sucks. None of this is really pleasant, that it's like You know, people always say, I wish I could do that. I'm like, no, you don't.
Nancy,
you do not.
That helped me with it. Embrace them. We didn't choose to get them, but they were given to us. Embrace the hell out of them. And then they become worse for you.
You do. But it's still, like I said, and you guys know that I do dream analysis classes and stuff like that at events.
And I love them.
Oh, I love doing them. I have fun. But it's, for me to be in a crowd, not a good thing. I mean, for me personally, I always have fun, and I'm good. I interact with people really well, but inside of me is like hell on wheels because I can feel everybody's emotions. I can tell you exactly who's pissed off in that crowd and why. I mean, it's such an overwhelming thing. You have to, like, I always say, I have to learn how to hyper focus down on what I need to speak about. But again, because I work in technology, that it kind of does work with my personality, because to do cybersecurity, you are hyper focusing down. To do OSINT research, you are hyper focusing down. So I'm good at doing it, but I'm still, believe it or not, I'm really introverted, which is crazy because I do radio shows. I love communicating with my tribe, as I like to say. Love being with my tribe, but I can't do crowds. The ghost hunts are so interesting for me, especially if they're at events, because I'm like, yeah, can I just go with like this group of like 5 and everybody else leave me alone? Because
I'm with you.
If I go with a group of 5, we're going to have a blast. But if I'm with a large group, I'm going to want to hang myself.
You guys know I'm in my car, and the lights just came on in the car, and I don't have a door open. There's no reason for this. You know how it happens when now it's going off.
Oh, yep. Bye.
Hey,
that's so funny because I'm just thinking to myself, turn off, and off they went.
They are using it like a flashlight, yeah. Well, that's weird.
No, it's not weird. And they know it's not weird. They're just being idiots. Like, here we are. Can we participate in the show? Or, better yet, can we scare you? No, good try.
All right, so I'm going to get a little controversial. You know how we do when we're together, Nancy. Go. All right, and Blaine, too, because he's got that mind just like... He's a expressive analytical, like a creative analytical like you are and I am. So the 3 of us together, oh my God, throw in a couple of beers or a nice glass of wine and we'd have some fun. But anyway, here we go. All right, let's just be real. Are some ghost sightings actually misidentified cryptids? Or you think it's ignored? I think so too.
Oh no, absolutely.
You, Blaine?
Absolutely.
You think that, Blaine?
Because what they're doing is manipulating energy fields. And
yep. I mean, it's not just that, but you guys have to remember too that we keep saying cryptids and we forget that. And again, check me on this, but the government has been playing with chimera DNA for decades now. So we can't, like Dogman. I always say that the whole thing out in where's that, Utah, that ranch, Skinwalker Ranch. I'm like, yeah, the Dogman type scenario. I said, do I think part of that is native? Absolutely. But I think a lot of what they're witnessing out there are those are government chimeras. They were created. They're part human. They're part animal. And I know people laugh at me when I say that, but I'm like, historically speaking, this has happened before.
Sure.
Go look at Egyptian artwork. Go look at Greek artwork. Think about their mythology. Okay, what you think that their gods were half man, half animal was just a fluke, and it goes all around the world like that. That there weren't actually half man, half animals.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think we're repeating a process, and that's why I say I'm not so sure if it's UFOs and aliens or if it's remnants of a very ancient civilization that probably survived and have incredible power and incredible knowledge. Even the Ark of the Covenant, I did a big thing on the Ark of the Covenant because I was like, y'all think that was the only one? That thing was a weapon, and it was not the only one.
Yes. It was a weapon. You're absolutely right.
Yep. Yep. I was like, and actually I traced it. India, there was 2 in India. I was like, that's what I'm saying. They don't do any research, but you can find evidence of the same type of object in India and around, thousands of years ago. I said it was a freaking weapon. It was a weapon. It's where did they find it? Was it something that was here already? Pretty sure it was. It's something left behind by another civilization that probably went too far. But, and I'm actually a person who believes they probably did go into the core of the planet. And I say that all the time. I would say, look at Antarctica, look at the Arctic, go study Admiral Byrd, go study what preceded Admiral Byrd, then go look at Greenland. Wonder why Trump wants Greenland. Trust me, it has nothing to do with everybody who thinks that is. He actually moved Space Force to Greenland in 2019. I'm like, most people don't know that. Oh, yeah. Thule Air Force Base, man. He moved Space Force up there in 2019. That man does nothing without a plan behind it.
Nothing.
I'm like, not only that, but there's an object buried under the ice up there that has been, it's not even something, that's not a rumor. That is like documented. They know something's down there, but they can't tell you what. I said, and they say, oh, they tried to build a nuclear base. No, they did not. Who would build a nuclear base in the middle of solid ice? Only an idiot. No, they were digging for something. What were they digging for?
Only an idiot.
That will leave it to me.
There's the DNA experiments that we've been looking at since the 90s. Okay, the Human Genome Project up to the early 2000s. The CRISPR.
Liebesborn. Not World War II. World War II. Liebesborn. That was the Nazi experiments, and Russia was experimenting with people and gorillas. Again,
I'll never forget that because I've been looking at that. There was a hybrid, several actually, but there was one in particular. It was obvious what that is. Then there's Yin Hai Kui, I think it's how you say his name, from China, and he edited the DNA of 2 babies before birth. CRISPR. He made these twins. CRISPR, and he was imprisoned. Because he had genetically modified humans.
And lo and behold, while he's serving his term in China, they were using CRISPR to edit vaccines back in 2011, 2012. So they were using his technology, and he's sitting in jail. That's what I'm saying. If y'all understood how bad Big Pharma has messed with us and been allowed to, that's what kills me. They've been allowed to. I was like, everybody else was banned from this type of technology, but there's evidence. I mean, it's on record. They were using CRISPR in 2011 and 2012. I'm like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, it was actually in the United States. I want to say, was it the State Department? One of the bigger departments actually labeled it a national security threat. That CRISPR is a national security threat in like 2016. And yet still the pharma companies used it. So again, gene editing is a big problem. Why? Well, guys, here's the other thing too. The modified foods. Okay, Monsanto food, the genetic seeds, the GMOs, they're modifying your genetics. You don't understand how that works. You're eating a genetically modified product with Roundup spliced into it, no less. And it's going into where? The seat of your immunity system, which is your intestines. Your gut and your intestines. That's where all good flora and bad flora are produced. Okay, that's why when women get older and we go through menopause, we got to take pre and probiotics. Why? So everything's growing okay in our intestines, so we have an immunity system. When you put something funky in there that's been actually changed on a genetic level, it's changing our genetics from the inside. And that is, you notice now we have kids that are autistic. We have kids that are all these birth defects that are happening, all these issues that are happening. Oh my God, the allergies are out of control. I mean, crazy allergies. And people will say, oh, well, it's because there's too many people on the planet. No, there's really not. There's really not. Because if you, and anybody who says that, I dare you, go drive through the state of Texas. Start on the east side of Texas and drive across the state to the west side of Texas and tell me how overpopulated we are. Because you can go for hours on that drive and not see anything. Nothing at all except maybe a rattlesnake.
Yep.
And then do it up through Wyoming, Kansas, Colorado. Go to the interior states. Where we're overcrowded is on the sea line, basically on the seashore areas.
Yep.
But when you start going to the interiors where our ag and everything else is, there's nothing out there. Nothing. So why don't we encourage people to learn agriculture? Let them settle to the inside of the state. You know, give them land to the inside. Let them be part of the system of producing food rather than selling it to developers. Why are things not working that way? There's plenty of land. And if you say, okay, you know, here's the deal. We'll sell you this land, X amount on the dollar, but the deal is you have to do, you know, either have to do cattle or you've got to do agro or, you know, you have to do something that contributes to the food within the country. I don't see anything wrong with that. But, you know, again, it doesn't work with big developers.
I do have another question, and I know I'm pushing it, but here it is, because we've got just a little bit left. Do you think some people in the paranormal field are knowingly mislabeling cryptid encounters as demonic or spiritual?
Oh, yes.
Just to make it sound more dramatic?
No, because
Elaine's not being bad tonight.
You knew I was going to say that, Lee. That's one of my pet peeves is the whole, it's a demon. I'm like, oh, for the love of God. Why? Because it made you pee yourself a little bit? Scared you? Is that why it's a demon? But, I mean, I think the whole demon thing is utterly out of control. Completely out of control. And it actually is really bad for the paranormal field because there's no study. There's no follow-up. It's an assumption. You know, and there's always going to be your extremists. And I say that. It's whether it be in religion, whether it be in politics, whether it be in life, or whether it be in the paranormal. You're going to have your extremists that are going to jump on the bandwagon of, oh, it's a demon. Now we need to get a demonologist in here. We need to do an exorcism. Really? Because I'm pretty damn sure the only people on the planet that are qualified to do an exorcism are coming out of the big belief systems, which would be actually the Roman Catholic Church being the number one when it comes to exorcisms. And they have a very specific way of doing it. And it's not in English or Spanish, or it's in pure Latin. There's a reason for that. Words carry power. Frequency carries power. And that's what it's about, the frequency. I mean, it's crazy, but you know, I don't understand how people fall for that every time. Oh, it's a demon. That explains why your house is, you know, been hell. No, your house is probably hell because your life is probably out of control. And you most likely need to address certain things going on in your life. And yes, if there is something there that is cohabitating with you, whether it be a spiritual essence, whatever, and you have a really messed up life, it's not going to be a very happy cohabitator. We're just going to put that out there because it feeds on whatever energy it is fed. When it wants to gain strength, when it wants to manifest, you are the source first. Otherwise, it's batteries, electricity, actually water they use to transport themselves. That's why a lot of times your bathrooms, your laundry rooms, your basements are heavily active because that's where the water pipes are. And water is what? A conductor. So, yep, they travel the pipes. That's why lighthouses, beaches, all those areas have lots of activity. Yeah, they're right on the water.
So we are coming up to the end of the show.
That's 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 5 to 7 Central Time.
Wait, I shall fix this.
Because I don't want to confuse people that are, you know, like me in Central Time Zone going, no, I was there.
Oh, you odd man out. You odd man out. You're out in Central.
I like my Central Time Zone. But I've lived in every time zone you can experience.
He's living his best life anyway. So, again, here is the cryptid encounters. We're going to be looking into unknown creatures, real scientific reports about these experiences. Unknown creatures, UFOs, and spirits, mysterious interconnections, which I've got a theory I'm going to enroll. I'm going to basically unfurl for the class, and I'll hopefully will be able to make a complete the book for that. But it's something that I'm really looking forward to. Please don't forget that you can find these tickets on Eventbrite, and they are May the 6th. Starting on the 6th, and it's Wednesday and Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. And what is that, Blaine, for Central?
5 to 7 Central.
There it
5 to
is.
7. Yep.
Yep. And don't forget that myself, Blaine, and Gwen, yes, we were on Monster Quest. It's been rebooted. So we are, Blaine was the premiere episode on season 5, which is the one that just came out as of January. And Gwen and I, what are our episode numbers, Blaine?
You were 5, she was 6. I was 2, 5, and 6.
There we go. I keep forgetting. Thank you. It was a lot of fun doing those. We had a great trip, and they treated us so well. And I know you're watching. Thank you so much, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
Appreciate you helping us out. We are looking for more people to tell their experience for Cryptid Nations, which is tomorrow. We are looking for people that have had a cryptid encounter, and you can go to Cryptid Nation AANTV, All Access Network Television at gmail.com. Make your subject line cryptid. We are going to be going to the Christmas Spooktacular at Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. That's July 24th in Gettysburg. And then we'll be going over here to Deep South Paracomic-Con, and that's going to be August the 8th and 9th. And I am looking for the one for, I don't see it. I don't see it. I think I made a thing. Did I make a thing?
A thing?
We're going to be at the That is so
Sweet.
creepy. And then here's this one. I found it. Yay! So they have some tickets left. Please get your tickets if you want them. Better get them now. If you want.
Jen and Chris told me that they're going. There's probably like maybe 5 left. So go get them.
Better go get them. And I know there's very few rooms, if any, left at the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, the Eisenhower Hotel. So it's going to be a busy, busy summer. Our season's hitting hard. And we'll be talking more about MassCon. That's going to be a lot of fun, too. So, Nancy, it's always good to see you. I sure have missed you.
Can I say
I
my
missed you too.
Lee, can I say my thing I say every week before we go off air?
Of course, my friend, do your thing.
You had a million choices for your entertainment tonight. You chose us. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Boom.
Thank you, Nancy. How can people get in touch with you?
You guys can find me on Facebook under Nancy Planeta. Again, very phonetic, planet with an A on the end. Or Wiccan Vixen. You can look up other way. Telegram, Wiccan Vixen. On X, I'm Writer on the Storm. And actually, Dragus Productions, I do my show every Wednesday evening from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. on Dragus. Dragus carries on Facebook. We're on Rumble. We're kind of all over the place. But usually it's just easier to catch it on Facebook through my page or through the Dragus Productions page. Otherwise, locally, I have a CE5 event I'm doing in a couple of weeks, which I've done a couple of those already. Dude, that is some killer stuff to do. That CE5 is that's Stephen Greer's technique to contact.
Are you serious?
I've done it.
Where are you going?
Yeah, I've done it. We've got one of the girls locally actually work with Greer, so we do CE5 events down here every couple of months, and I'm going to this one in May 24th. And again, it deals with delta and theta waves, dude, right up my alley because there's a science to it. And I'm like, okay, so I can tell you that delta and theta, yeah, you're working on a different frequency, a different communication realm. So if anything's gonna work, that might. But I'm gonna actually be live streaming it. So Mark's like, oh, you're gonna live stream it. I was like, yeah. So if an alien comes and I'm gone, then at least you have evidence, and your network will be known forever, Mark. So you will be happy.
Perfect.
But yeah.
Oh man.
And then I have Comic-Con. Yeah, I do Tampa Comic-Con every year, so that's in August. And like I said, over the summer I'm doing Plumhouse. I'm all over the place. Teams call me, I go. Or I work with I have one team locally that I work with all the time. Just because that's my relief. I'm constantly working, constantly dealing with my own things. That's like, the paranormal's always been my baby. So it's like, that's my little fun time, and I get to be more me and not so professional.
That's right.
Yep.
Well, thank you for being on.
Thank you.
Always.
Thank you, Nancy.
Love you too. It was great talking to you again.
I will talk to you tomorrow. I'm gonna get off here where I can spend time with my lovely wife.
You go do that. I was gonna say I gotta go feed my lovely but hungry husband. So yeah, he's chomping at the bit. Love you, lady.
I said, hey, I've missed him too.
I will.
Have a great night.
I will. Talk to you later, girl.